Okay, so we're going to talk about sports gambling because it's something that you have brought up repeatedly.
Constantly.
I was asking you this morning if you think it's an even bigger problem than any of us realize.
Worst ever.
Okay, so the reason I'm bringing it up, there's a couple of stories in the news, including one involving former Washington State University quarterback John Mateer. Do I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
And so he now plays with Oklahoma, and he's getting blasted because he apparently made some Venmo payments under his name that were labeled sports gambling, and that started circling online. And these were made back in 2022 when he was still a freshman at WSU, and NCAA rules have made it crystal clear you cannot bet on college sports if you are an athlete, right? But he says, it's just jokes between him and his friends. The thing with the Venmo descriptions. And okay, so whether or not that is something that becomes a bigger deal, it did bring up this whole idea of sports gambling because the baseball player who is back in the news again.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. Okay. So, there's a lot of accusations and allegations surrounding gambling and him and his agent, et cetera, et cetera. And then you pointed out that Michael Porter Jr., who is an NBA forward with the Brooklyn Jets.
By the way, Nets.
Nets. What did I say? Jets.
That's all right. You think about New York Jets.
Yes.
By the way, that Michael Porter Jr. also played a year of high school basketball here locally at Nathan Hale.
Okay, that's the guy. Well, he talked about it.
Think about if you could get all your homies rich, $10,000 on my under. This one game I'm gonna act like I got an injury, and I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna come out after 3 minutes, and they all get a little bag because you did it one game. Like that is so not okay. But some people probably think like that. They come from nothing, and 100%. All their homies have nothing.
100%.
And they're like, bro, if I come out of this game after 3 minutes and y'all all hit on my under, we're all getting a little bag. But the whole sports gambling entity, bro, it's bad, and it's only gonna get worse, bro. Like we really do get death threats.
Death threats.
So real quick, I want to give you further context, as my girl Ursula loves to say. Just so you all know, his brother, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jonte Porter, got popped, has been suspended from the NBA indefinitely. He's done. There's a ban. He got caught gambling, actually trying to fix games as he's playing. So now Michael Porter Jr. is having this conversation and is kind of being transparent. And basically, he's not justifying gambling. What he's doing is he's telling everyone, like this is usually what happens, hey, everyone, just so you know, gambling's going to get worse because you have opportunities where somebody can be like, oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back, and give up a game, and then their homies and people in their family get to make money that way. And it's bad. And it's so bad. Let me tell you how bad gambling is. Sports gambling is so bad that the NBA, the NFL, MLB, all are endorsers of this sports gambling. So where do you guys
they're a bunch
think?
of hypocrites, is what you're saying.
It's
so bad that they're endorsers, yet they have the strictest rules about it. And are they turning a blind eye as to what is actually happening within the game?
Yeah. I got a question for you, Ursula. You've been to some casinos before. I didn't mean to say it like that, but you have. I'm gonna ask you.
You're funny.
I'm gonna ask you. Over the years, how has the audience attendance at the sports game? How does that look now?
Has the landscape changed?
Yeah.
Yes. The sports books, which I still don't even get, but I see people lined up in front of those machines. I see people hanging out, so many more people watching games, whether it's in Vegas, but here locally.
Yeah.
The number of young men in particular who are involved with betting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're coming in, bringing in big wads of cash, and I mean,
give the numbers over the last 5 years.
The American sports betting industry, according to ESPN, posted a record $13.7 billion in revenue in 2024 alone. That was just, think about that one. In 2023, Americans wagered nearly $120 billion on legal sports betting.
So, okay.
Okay, that's frightening.
So I wanna ask this question right here, because usually when I talk about this, and I'm totally against, like, look, you want a sports bet? I remember back in the day, you used to have to go to Las Vegas. Now they're like, okay, Gee, you could do the sports betting. You could do it at the casino. Okay, fine. But in some states, there are some states in the United States right now where you could just be on your cell phone and you can just sports bet. And so we are talking about housing affordability. We're talking about the homelessness crisis. We're talking about all these things. And now, in addition to, you're adding this. And don't act like there hasn't been an increase amongst your friends and in your family. Nick, Gen Z, why they sports betting so much, man?
I think it's just like a young fad. I mean, through experience, I mean, I did it when I was younger too, and it's never a money making kind of tactic. It's always just you have to go into it knowing it's for fun. But the problem with younger people is they don't understand that, and they think that they can profit off of it, and then in the long term that they can keep winning and winning. But just a couple of losses under your belt, and you can lose everything, and even then some. Some people go as far as to like getting money that's not theirs. They borrow somebody else's money, they get into debt. That's even worse when you're betting money that's not yours.
Sophia, you got something on this?
Yeah, no, I know of some people that did in fact bet money that wasn't theirs.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, and then you kind of end up in the situation where you're like, oh, I thought I was going to make all this money back.
And then you get deeper and deeper because you're like, okay, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to win this time, and I'm going to win what I lost.
Exactly.
You're chasing your losses.
And you're in debt betting money as a young kid, who doesn't have the money to be doing that.
But how do you put the toothpaste back in the tube?
You can't. You can't.
And what about should the athletes be made more of an example, like going after the athletes who are doing this?
I mean, look, Ursula.
I mean, when we're talking about these kind of dollars, how are they going to give that up?
Let me give you an example. I have. Obviously, this is true. So what I'm going to tell you guys is true, because if I did, I'd be fired. I have not placed one bet. MLB, NBA, and for sure not NFL. Not one bet. And I've not advised anyone on a bet. As a matter of fact, when my homies start talking about bet, I don't want to hear all that, because you get fired. You will lose your connections and jobs centered around sports.
I'm sure the Seahawks are required to tell you, don't do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But Ursula, there's a lot of people that are struggling with this. And by the way, you don't have to go to Vegas anymore. This is why Vegas is losing.